Welcome to Insight Vortex, where we dive deep into the world of science, technology, and business to bring you powerful, evolving insights on the cutting edge. Today, we're peeling back the layers of history to explore the life and legacy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the enigmatic figure known as the father of the atomic bomb. As the central figure in the top-secret Manhattan Project, Oppenheimer's work led to the creation of the world's first atomic weapons, forever changing the course of history and ushering in the atomic age. But who was the man behind the science? What drove him to pursue such a monumental and controversial project? And how has his legacy shaped our understanding of the moral and ethical implications of scientific discovery? Join us on this fascinating journey as we delve into the life of J. Robert Oppenheimer, from his early years and education to the Manhattan Project, the Trinity test, and beyond. We'll also discuss the upcoming Christopher Nolan movie Oppenheimer, which promises to bring this complex character to life on the big screen. So, without further ado, let's dive into the enigmatic world of J. Robert Oppenheimer and uncover the secrets behind one of history's most influential and controversial figures. J. Robert Oppenheimer was born on April 22, 1904, in New York City to a wealthy, cultured family. His father, Julius Oppenheimer, was a successful textile importer, while his mother, Ella Friedman, was an accomplished painter. Growing up in a stimulating environment, young Oppenheimer developed a voracious appetite for knowledge, devouring books on a wide range of subjects. His prodigious intellect and passion for science became evident early on. At the age of 12, he was already studying advanced physics and chemistry, and by the time he entered the Ethical Culture School in New York, he had developed a strong interest in mineralogy. It was during this time that he began collecting minerals, a hobby that would stay with him for the rest of his life. After graduating high school, Oppenheimer enrolled at Harvard University in 1922. Despite starting his studies a year late due to a bout of dysentery, he quickly made up for lost time. He completed his bachelor's degree in just 3 years, majoring in chemistry and minoring in physics. During his time at Harvard, he developed a deep interest in theoretical physics, which would become the focus of his career. In 1925, Oppenheimer received a prestigious fellowship to study at the University of Cambridge in England. There, he worked under the guidance of renowned physicist J.J. Thomson, the discoverer of the electron. However, Oppenheimer struggled to adapt to the experimental physics work in Thomson's lab, which led him to switch to theoretical physics under the tutelage of another great physicist, Ralph H. Fowler. In 1927, Oppenheimer moved to the University of Göttingen in Germany, which was then at the forefront of quantum mechanics research. He studied under Max Born, one of the leading figures in the field, and quickly became part of the vibrant scientific community in Göttingen. During this time, he had the opportunity to interact with some of the greatest minds in physics, such as Werner Heisenberg, Wolfgang Pauli, and Paul Dirac. These encounters would have a profound impact on his intellectual development and his approach to scientific research. At Göttingen, Oppenheimer's research flourished, and he published several important papers on quantum mechanics. In 1929, he completed his PhD under Born's supervision and returned to the United States to embark on an illustrious career that would eventually lead him to the Manhattan Project and the development of the atomic bomb. As World War II raged on, the United States government embarked on a top-secret mission to develop the world's first atomic bomb. This ambitious project, known as the Manhattan Project, aimed to harness the immense power of nuclear fission to create a weapon that could potentially end the war. At the heart of this groundbreaking endeavor was J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was appointed as the scientific director of the project. Oppenheimer's role in the Manhattan Project was crucial. He was responsible for assembling a team of the brightest minds in physics, chemistry, and engineering to work on the various aspects of the bomb's development. Under his leadership, the project brought together scientists from various institutions, including the University of Chicago, the University of California, Berkeley, and the Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. One of the key milestones in the Manhattan Project was the successful creation of the first controlled nuclear chain reaction. This pivotal event took place on December 2, 1942, under the watchful eye of physicist Enrico Fermi at the University of Chicago. This breakthrough demonstrated that it was possible to generate a self-sustaining nuclear reaction, paving the way for the development of the atomic bomb. The next challenge was to design and build the bomb itself. Oppenheimer and his team faced numerous obstacles, including the need to produce large quantities of fissile material, such as enriched uranium and plutonium. They also had to devise a method to initiate a rapid, uncontrolled chain reaction that would release the bomb's destructive energy. Under Oppenheimer's guidance, the Manhattan Project team developed two different bomb designs. The first, known as Little Boy, utilized uranium-235 and employed a gun-type assembly mechanism. The second, called Fat Man, was a more complex design that used plutonium-239 and a spherical implosion mechanism. Both designs presented unique challenges, but Oppenheimer's team persevered and eventually succeeded in creating functional prototypes. As the bombs neared completion, the Manhattan Project faced another significant challenge: testing the weapon. On July 16, 1945, the first ever nuclear explosion, codenamed Trinity, took place at the Alamogordo Bombing and Gunnery Range in New Mexico. The test was a resounding success, and with the successful test behind them, the Manhattan Project team prepared to deliver their creation to the battlefield. On August 6, 1945, the Little Boy bomb was dropped on the Japanese city of Hiroshima, followed by the Fat Man bomb on Nagasaki 3 days later. The devastating power of these atomic bombs led to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II. The Trinity test, conducted on July 16, 1945, marked a turning point in human history and ushered in the atomic age. This monumental event saw the first ever detonation of a nuclear weapon, demonstrating the immense power and destructive potential of atomic energy. The success of the Trinity test was a testament to the hard work and dedication of J. Robert Oppenheimer and his team, but it also raised profound ethical questions about the use of such devastating weaponry. Oppenheimer's reaction to the Trinity test was a mix of awe and dread. As he watched the mushroom cloud rise from the New Mexico desert, he was reminded of a line from the Hindu scripture Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Few people laughed. Few people cried. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
This quote encapsulates the conflicting emotions that Oppenheimer and many of his colleagues felt as they grappled with the consequences of their work. The ethical dilemmas faced by Oppenheimer and his team were immense. On the one hand, they believed that the development of the atomic bomb was necessary to bring about a swift end to World War II and save countless lives. On the other hand, they were acutely aware of the unparalleled destruction that their creation would unleash upon the world. These ethical concerns came to the forefront when the atomic bombs were dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. The bombings resulted in the deaths of over 100,000 people, most of them civilians, and left countless others injured and suffering from the long-term effects of radiation exposure. The devastation wrought by these weapons forced the world to confront the terrifying reality of nuclear warfare and forever changed the course of global politics. In the years following World War II, J. Robert Oppenheimer continued to play a significant role in shaping U.S. nuclear policy. He was instrumental in the establishment of the Atomic Energy Commission, an EC, in 1946 and served as its first chairman. In this capacity, Oppenheimer advocated for the peaceful use of nuclear energy and the need for international cooperation to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. His vision for a more responsible approach to atomic power was influential in shaping the early years of the atomic age. However, Oppenheimer's outspoken views on nuclear disarmament and his opposition to the development of the hydrogen bomb put him at odds with some of the most powerful figures in the U.S. government and military. As Cold War tensions escalated, his past associations with communist-leaning organizations and individuals came under scrutiny. In 1953, the AEC initiated an investigation into Oppenheimer's loyalty, and the following year, he was stripped of his security clearance, effectively ending his involvement in government-sponsored nuclear research. This fall from grace was a devastating blow to Oppenheimer, who had dedicated his life to the pursuit of scientific knowledge and the betterment of humanity. Despite the controversy surrounding his alleged disloyalty, He remained a respected figure in the scientific community and continued to contribute to the field of theoretical physics. In recent years, the life and legacy of J. Robert Oppenheimer have captured the imagination of Hollywood, leading to the development of an upcoming biographical film directed by the acclaimed filmmaker Christopher Nolan. Titled Oppenheimer, this highly anticipated movie promises to offer a fresh perspective on the fascinating story of the father of the atomic bomb and the complex ethical dilemmas that defined his life and work. The film boasts an impressive cast, including Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh, and Robert Downey Jr. among others. With Nolan at the helm, known for his thought-provoking and visually stunning films like Inception, Interstellar, and Dunkirk, Oppenheimer is poised to be a compelling exploration of the Manhattan Project and the dawn of the atomic age. Oppenheimer has the potential to significantly impact public perception of J. Robert Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project by shedding light on the lesser-known aspects of his life and the ethical dilemmas he faced. The film could spark renewed interest in the history of the atomic bomb and the role that scientists like Oppenheimer played in shaping the course of the 20th century. Moreover, it may encourage viewers to engage in discussions about the complex legacy of Oppenheimer and the ethical implications of scientific discoveries that have the potential to change the world. In conclusion, the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project serves as a powerful reminder of the complex relationship between science, ethics, and the human condition. As we continue to push the boundaries of knowledge and grapple with the ethical implications of our actions, let us remember the words of Oppenheimer himself: "The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing." We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the life and legacy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, and that it has provided you with powerful insights into the history and moral challenges that continue to shape our world. As always, we at Insight Vortex are committed to bringing you engaging and thought-provoking content on the cutting edge of science, technology, and business. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.